I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. And now at this time, we will have public comment. Public comment, each person will get 3 minutes to speak and cannot speak on public hearing items. We have 3 people currently signed up for public comment. At this time, please come to this podium, state your name and address for the records. Nicholas Walton.
Walton. I live at 4014 Watsonia Drive. I'm speaking here tonight because I want to set the record straight. With this being the first normal meeting after this November's election, we have a new mayor, a new commissioner, and Commissioner Miles being reelected. Being sworn in 2 days ago in a ceremony that was an absolute waste of our taxpayer dollars, which could have just been done on December 1st as originally scheduled, with how light today's meeting is at no additional cost to our town. But no, Mayor Harrison and Commissioner Miles were sworn in a tax fund wasting ceremony, gloating along with Commissioner Baxter and Davis of a new exciting chapter in our town. Exciting times, great things to come, greatness that's going to continue, creating a town beyond others in Wake County, etc. But I'm sorry, folks. These 4 here are gaslighting us into believing a fantasy that is false. Hopefully, for just the next 2 years, most likely none of these platitudes will come true. I say this because from the 2 years I've lived here, all I've seen from the four of you as a majority is incompetent, untransparent, charter and law-breaking governance, with a rare sprinkle of good here and there done for our town. How can we as the public, who have been paying attention, seriously trust and believe in the platitudes you've gloated when this is your record? It's funny in the swearing-in ceremony, you were told by others who spoke to establish core values and a moral compass. From them having to tell you that, and from your record, the 4 of you clearly do not have such. A good historical figure to describe the 4 of you from this in your record is our 37th president, Richard Nixon. And it's sad that our first female black mayor is like Richard Nixon. What a shame. That is the reality that we're actually going into, folks, and not the fantasy these 4 are trying to betray. For hopefully just the next 2 years, it will not be a new chapter for our town. It's going to be business as usual and just more Richard Nixon. I, as part of the majority of people who did not vote for incumbents this November, I myself voted for Gilbert Todd Jr., DeVaris Garner, and Milton Robertson. I do not want businesses as usual, but to no longer have such, we, the public, must vigilantly participate and act peacefully to hold these 4 accountable for their governance, to hopefully get them to resign, but more likely to hopefully establish an anti-board majority to stop this government in its tracks in 2027 at the ballot box, and to hopefully rid this government again at the ballot box in 2029. Then hopefully we can finally turn a page on this government into a new chapter for our town, where we can finally have the government and make the changes that we, the public, desire. But to achieve this, we must start our work now. I know I will, as I've been doing, and I hope other residents who share my sentiment will join me in this effort.
Thank you, Mr. Walton. DeVaris Gardner.
Morris Gardner, 1648 Sage Street Drive. Good afternoon, Mayor Harrison, commissioners, and members of the Zebulon community. I'm standing before you today and speaking on behalf of myself and Jesse Brown. During the last election, it was a grueling election, and during that election, it caused a empty seat to be it caused the current mayor to be elevated to mayor, and it left a empty seat. What I'm asking is that we follow the town charter in filling that, because what it states is that in the event of the office of commissioner, the board shall by plurality vote appoint some qualified person to fill the vacancy until the next election. In this case, we just had that election happen, and the commissioner was elevated into mayor. And the next part that it states further down is that the seats will be filled as follows from the votes cast at the election. The seats will be filled by plurality, and the seats that would normally be up for election shall be filled first based on the number of votes equal to the number of seats to be filled for the full terms. And the unexpired term shall be based on the next highest number of votes. With that being said, me and Jesse ended up tied for that next spot in third. I'm asking to reach out to the Board of Elections so that they can break the tie and we can easily fill that seat and fulfill the voice of the people.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. And now we have Jesse Brown.
Well, first off, congratulations, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner. Thanks for having me, two other commissioners, staff. So, basically, I'm not going to sit here and just say it exactly. I'm sorry.
Would you state your address, please? Thank you.
501 West Sycamore Street.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm not going to just beat over and stamp exactly what DeVera said, but there is a clear-cut breakdown of way you can break this vote by the Board of Elections. They have, it even states in the statute that you can flip a coin, pull the names out of a hat. So all I'm saying is utilize what you got here. You actually kind of got a gift. You already know what the people think, right? We can utilize that, break the tie. DeVeris and I have already discussed it. We're happy for each other. It doesn't matter how that tie breaks out for us because we know it's for the better of Zebulon. Just take that into consideration. We the people, we stated it the other day, you got the people's vote. Might as well utilize it, right? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Do we have any statements to be read from online or emails?
No, we do not.
At this time, public comment is now closed. And we would like to take a moment to introduce to you all this hardworking young man that has recently joined our team. It is our honor and pleasure as the board to introduce our new town clerk, Mr. Jeremy Crawford. Welcome to Zebulon, Jeremy. And now moving right along, we would like to hear from our auditors. So we will now take the time to hear our presentation from our fiscal year 2025 audit report.
Do we want to do this?
Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's not up there next. All right, cool. So now we are going to do school recognitions. I'm sorry. So school recognitions this month will be from East Wake Magnet High School. And we have the student, Miss Susan Lynn. Was Susan able to get here? Oh. Hi, Susan. Tonight, we are recognizing Miss Susan Lynn in East Wake Magnet High School for being an outstanding student and a role model for other students. Today, we are recognizing you on December 8th, 2025. Signed, Jessica Daniels Harrison, Mayor of the Town of Zebulon. Congratulations. Now we will recognize our teacher from East Wake High School, Mrs. Maris Gamzon. Did I say your name right? Maris. I'm going to say your name correctly. Maris Gaiman? Gamzon. Maris Gamzon. Tonight, December 8th, 2025, we, the Board of Commissioners of the Town of Zebulon, would like to recognize you for your dedication to the schools and to the students of East Wake High School. Thank you for all that you do and for your continued contribution to our community. Signed, December 8th, 2025, Jessica Daniels Harrison, Mayor. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And now we will have our fiscal year 2025 audit presentation. I'd like to recognize Finance Director Fitz.
I know you're all eager to hear that. That's why you skipped over school recognition. This is exciting stuff. But I won't steal any of Elsa's thunder. I'll just introduce her. This is Elsa Swenson from Martin Starnes and Associates. They're our auditors. This is year 2 of a 3-year contract. She will go through her slides, and then we'll take any questions anybody may have. Hope you all got your ACFR. It's now called ACFR instead of CAFR.
You call it the CAFR.
I guess. Kind of changed because it's, I think, a derogatory term in some countries. But so they kind of changed the recognition of it. But anyway, I will turn over to her, and like I said, we can have any questions we'll answer after she's done. And with that being said, here is Elsa.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Martin Starnes and Associates, I'd like to present the Town of Zebulon's 2025 audited financial statements. Some audit highlights. The town received an unmodified opinion. This is a clean audit opinion. I'd like to thank Bobby Fitz, Andrea Peters, the rest of the finance department for all of their hard work this year on the audit. Anytime we request information, it's given to us timely, accurately, and we do appreciate that great working relationship that we've had with the town. Looking at your fund balance, the available fund balance is defined by the Local Government Commission as total fund balance less non-spendable items, less items restricted by state statute. The LGC uses this calculation to compare you to other units. Total fund balance for 2025 for the general fund was $24.2 million. You had non-spendable items of $991,000, less stabilization by state statute of $1.4 million. This gives you an available fund balance of $21.8 million. And this is a decrease in your available fund balance of about $4.5 million. And the reason for that is due to decreases in overall fund balance due to some large transfers to your capital project funds. Available fund balance as a percent of expenditures for the general fund was 102.3%. This means that you can cover about 13 months worth of your expenditures with your available fund balance at the end of fiscal year 25. The total fund balance for the general fund was $24.2 million, a decrease of about $3.3 million. Your revenues continue to exceed expenditures by $4.4 million. However, you had transfers to capital project funds of $7.8 million. General fund revenues for the year were $25.7 million, an increase of about 22%, and expenditures were $21.3 million, an increase of about 13%, and I will detail these further along in the presentation. Your top 3 revenues for the general fund were property taxes at 57%, unrestricted intergovernmental revenues 14%, restricted intergovernmental revenues 8%, and other revenues made up 21%. Property taxes were $14.5 million. This is about a $4 million increase due to the revaluation. Intergovernmental revenues are your federal and state grants. You had just over $2 million in federal and state grants, and this increase is primarily due to Wake County Fire District funding the 3 new firefighter salary and payment towards a new fire truck. Unrestricted intergovernmental revenues were $3.6 million, an increase of about 8%. And this increase is primarily due to the increase in cost of goods and increase in consumer spending. Top 3 expenditures for general fund were public works at 28%, Public safety, 36%. General government, 18%, and others were 18%. Public safety was at $7.6 million, about a $4 million increase of about 20% there. This is due to filling vacant positions. General government was at $3.8 million, about a 33% increase. This increase is due to contracted services and professional legal fees from development-related issues. Public Works was $5.9 million, about a 10% decrease due to large capital outlay completed in the prior year that was not needed to be repeated this year. This concludes my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much for your hard work getting this all taken care of, and thank you to staff for getting all of the information that you needed together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And now, is there a motion to? Bobby, sorry, didn't see you.
I think it was shared with you, I don't know if anybody saw it, within the last hour or two. Commissioner Rowe had a couple of questions that I just kind of wanted to address publicly. I'll just kind of breeze through the questions. The first one was about our bond rating and what that means as far as the better bond rate. Essentially what it means, the better bond rating we have when we go to the bond market, we'll get better rates, which in turn saves on interest expense for taxpayer dollars, essentially. So we want to we had an upgrade in 2023 from Moody's and Standard & Poor's. We were upgraded one step, so a positive, so we're maintaining that. But that's basically to answer that question. The question concerning GSK and being such a large taxpayer of ours, being such a large percentage of our tax base, you'll see in my response that it has shifted. That burden that we rely on them has shifted with our residential growth. So we used to be more 60-40 roughly on our commercial residential. Now we're shifted to, it's actually 52% residential, 48 commercial. So there's give and take with that being heavily commercial versus balanced. You kind of want to be balanced, but so we're getting there. Other post-employment benefits, you see on page 70 of the ACFR/CAFR concerning that. That is retiree insurance, and you'll see the liability on there. It says $6 million liability. What that means is actuaries project out based on age and how long people will live, what that will cost. There is a trust that the Department of State Treasurer sponsors and manages. I was just talking with Elsa before, and they have 18?
I have 18 clients, and I don't have any that have this. Our firm has more. I think we have 2 in the whole firm that actually do this, so as far as our client base goes.
I'm sorry, they do what?
There's a question about, it's a trust that we could contribute to fund future liability of that other post-employment benefits. And I was asking her just for reference, do y'all know anybody? Because I don't personally know anybody that does it, but we can investigate it and see. We have it's $120,000 a year right now, roughly, is what the cost is. We do it a pay-as-you-go basis, so we don't to that trust, but we can investigate and see what all is involved in it. I think it's maybe 10 or 15 years old since they've been doing it, but we can look into it. Another question concerning, Elsa mentioned it too, we did large transfers out to capital projects, as you're aware, this year through budget amendments, and a couple are existing, but new ones for Public Works, Little River Park, Gill Street Park. As you're aware, those commit those funds to those projects where they're in funds where they don't close each year June 30th. So we don't have to keep rolling those funds over. His question was concerning the cost. Are we confident that the budgeted funds will cover those projects? Well, we hope so. We think so. We build contingency into those project costs. Hopefully there will be enough, but as you're aware, we've come back a couple of times in the last couple of years on construction projects, and the construction market just kind of wild right now. So hopefully the budget funds will cover it, but there's no promises once we go to bid on those projects. The last one's concerning building permits. You'll notice in there, they're down about 6% over FY24. Not too concerning. I checked with Matt. They were down slightly. That's to be expected, but they're steady, and we have budgeted pretty flat for this current year, and we'll work closely in the upcoming budget to try to dial in a good number for permitting revenue in the coming year. I think that was it. If anybody has any follow-ups to that, I'll be glad to answer them.
Any questions from the board?
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you all again so much, as Commissioner Baxter said, for your hard work, and to our staff for ensuring that our town's financials are going well. We just want to say thank you again. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Commissioner Baxter, would there be a second? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Is there a discussion? All right, all in favor of consent agenda? Thank you. Motion passes. New business A, board vacancy. As we know, we now have a board vacancy. I'm going to allow our attorney to speak to our town charter and what that looks like as far as board vacancy. Sam?
Sure, thank you, Madam Mayor. I heard in the public comment a question about this, and I have section 3.3 of the town charter here that I thought I'd talk to this board and the public about as you consider this appointment. So, as we know from recent experience, that the second part of the charter notes that in the event a vacancy occurs in the office of a commissioner, the board shall by plurality vote appoint some qualified person to fill the vacancy until the next general election. And the person appointed to fill the vacancy shall only serve until an elected successor takes office. So when Commissioner Clark resigned, her seat, and let me back up, the first part of this shows that there are elections every 2 years in Zebulon. Every 2 years there are 2 commissioners and a mayor, and then 2 years after that are the 3 other commissioner seats. So 3 people every 2 years. And each seat is for a 4-year term. So when Commissioner Clark resigned, her seat was up for election at this most recent municipal election. So someone was appointed, they served in that seat until the next election, like the charter says, but because that seat was open, somebody was elected, one of the 2 highest vote getters was elected to that seat. In this scenario, the mayor was a commissioner until she was sworn in as mayor on Saturday. And on Saturday, that created a board vacancy. So there will be an election. The next election will fill that seat. It's similar to Commissioner Clark's scenario. That seat is up for election in 2 years. So that seat will be replaced in 2 years. The hypothetical here where this would apply that I know you spoke at on the public comment, they're 4-year terms. So if there were a 4-year term and someone were 1 year into it, for example, Commissioner Roa, if he was 1 year into it and they resigned, there's 3 years left on that seat. The board shall appoint a person to that seat. and that person will serve until the next election, in this hypothetical. At the next election, there'd be a plurality vote, the way that you voted in this last election. The two highest vote getters, well, I guess in this case, the next election would be 3, right? So use 3 since the next one is 3 seats. 3 would be appointed. The 4th highest would fill in the next 2 years of the resigned seat. Because I know there was focus on the unexpired term shall be based on the next highest number of votes.
Where is that? Because what I'm looking at on section 3.3, is that in the first paragraph or the second paragraph?
It's all in the second paragraph. So my hypothetical of...
Oh, you're just talking about the votes from the board.
From the people.
Yeah, you're not talking about votes from the general election.
No, the general election language is in the second half of the second paragraph. Because what it does is, it says by plurality vote, and then it goes on in the next sentence to define plurality vote as the votes casted in the election. So that's where, I mean, someone like myself who just reads normal English would read it and say, it appears that by plurality vote in this case, based on the election, that's who should be put into the next seat, especially since it's not a vacant seat, it's an unexpired term. So it seems like when when Madam Mayor took office, she automatically had to give up her commissioner seat, but it became an unexpired term seat, which then would trigger the language in that, to my understanding, and this is why I'm glad you were able to. And I ask you this not to challenge you, but just to clarify, right? Once the unexpired term language kicks in, it seems like that clause would then trigger that second paragraph, because we used to follow the regular general statutes, and then in 2004 there was that was created, and it appears that it's a look-back provision, or that's what it's supposed to be in place, so that we just can't elect people. It's by the voice of the people who vote in the election.
That makes sense. It does, yeah. So a couple things. So plurality vote isn't defined here. Plurality vote is a manner of voting. So it's not a motion and a second. It's the way that you nominate names, and then the appointment happens by a plurality vote. Same. It means you don't have to get a majority vote. You get a plurality vote. For clarification, if it gives people peace of mind, I talked about this today, and I did call the School of Government, and I talked to Bob Joyce. I have his title up here. Bob is the Charles Edwin Hinsdale Distinguished Professor of Public Law and Government at the School of Government, and we talked about this, and he read it and interpreted it the same way I did, in the sense that, because if I try to explain it another way, read this as a whole, right? The second paragraph, right? In the event a vacancy occurs in the office of commissioner, a vacancy occurs when someone resigns or doesn't sit in that seat. So that vacancy occurred on Saturday when the sitting commissioner was accepted the oath of mayor. So then what? What does the board do next? The board shall, by plurality vote, appoint some person until the next general election.
Correct.
And the person appointed only serves until the elected successor takes place. That person doesn't just keep serving the rest of the term if there's more than 2 years on it. They only serve until the next general election. And then it says, here's how you fill the seats at the next general election.
So the passage, the seats will be filled as follows from the votes cast at the election. The seats will be filled by plurality. Yes. It would normally be up for election. So that your interpretation of this is that plurality here doesn't mean the people's votes, it means the commissioner's votes.
Correct.
No, that's not what I'm saying, no. Plurality means you get elected based on the highest number of votes. It's a plurality vote instead of a majority vote. So it's saying in the event a vacancy occurs, here's what the board does. The board appoints, okay? But
doesn't the board point by plurality of the total number of votes casted? No, so the use of the word plurality in the first sentence and the fourth sentence don't join it together.
No, they don't.
Okay.
The use of the word plurality means that the board appoints the plurality is a method of election. And so in the first sentence, the method of election by the board is plurality vote. And then the method of election publicly, in terms of collecting votes and deciding who fills the seats, that's also by plurality.
Okay.
All right, any other?
So does that clear it up so that everyone understands that the board appoints someone to fill this vacant seat and it doesn't have anything to do with the number of votes from the past election?
That's my understanding.
Is that
That's his explanation of it. I understand, yep.
correct? Cool.
Bob Joyce, I said I'd be judicious in sharing his name and email, but it is online. He said he'd be happy to speak with anybody that wanted to discuss that interpretation of the charter. I will end and I did provide the hypothetical, and I think it got a little wordy, which I apologize for, but if someone resigned in the first year of their term, then this would spring into effect. Because you appoint that empty seat when they're 1 year in, but that person doesn't get to sit there for 3 more years. They are only there for 1 year until the next election, at which point they'd be the lowest, highest vote getter, and they're only elected for 2 more years, the last 2 years of that term that has the vacancy.
You would think that we would be pros at this by now. We've done it a few times. Thank you, Sam, for taking the time to do the research, call School of Government, I think you said you called. And what was the young man's name that you spoke to?
Robert Joyce.
Joyce. And we have his contact information in case anyone needs to follow up. So if you would please make sure that that information is made available so that anyone who needs it can have it. Discussion about board vacancies, board vacancy.
I'd like to move forward.
Okay, what does that mean? What does that look like?
Ready for nominations?
Oh, okay. All right, so we are ready for nominations for board vacancy.
I would like to nominate Trenton Schmidt.
I'll actually nominate Kyle Adams.
Are there any more nominations? All
I'm
right,
going to nominate Josie Brown.
nominations. Jeremy, looks like we're gonna need some ballots. Glad you were ready.
When is the discussion period?
Before the vote.
Yes, I will, you'll,
Sitting right here, so.
yeah. Thanks, Jeremy.
Those days are gone.
I know, right?
Sorry, ma'am.
I don't get a ballot anymore.
Sorry, ma'am.
It's cool. I have his pen here.
So I take it we put the name in that check box, is that one correct?
Just, didn't
Would
know
you
what
like
name
it
would go in.
checked as well? Do we write the name in the
I
one
fill
box
mine
and
in.
then check it? I'm
I'm gonna fill mine in.
You know you have to give us very clear directions.
That's right.
We chop this up every time. Thank you. Today is December 8th. And we will ask our clerk to read the ballots for the record, please.
After reviewing the votes, it looks like we have 2 for Kyle Adams, 1 for Trenton Schmidt, and 1 for Jesse Brown.
Thank you. And as Sam, could you please tell us who will be filling the board seat?
Right, so on the plurality vote system, the 2 votes would carry for the appointment.
And that will be for Kyle Adams.
What's the name? Kyle
Adams.
Really know what to
Skip
do
over
after
the
this
discussion
part.
period?
Yep, yeah, okay. All right, we are going to do a vote for, do we need to do a vote for a plurality, or are we done? Okay, great.
He was wanting to.
Right, I'm gonna get to that point, but I just didn't know if we needed to do a vote. We're good with plurality. Okay, all right. Is there any discussion regarding board vacancy?
Yes.
Commissioner.
Look, I ran with Jesse. He's a good guy. I got to know DeVaris. He's also a good guy. I didn't run with him. But we just had an election, and to ignore these 2 candidates that got over 700 votes seems a little, I want to say, in my opinion, disrespectful to the voters of Zebulon. You know, 2 years ago, the person that won their seats got 350 to maybe 375 votes. These people doubled the number of votes in this election. I know the campaigns can be grueling. I know they can be difficult. I picked Jesse Brown over DeVaris. When comparing the resume, I think his insight as a police officer, as a builder, as a developer, as someone who's helped rehab some of the buildings downtown would be an insightful addition to the board. I guess we're having the discussion after the vote, which doesn't make any sense because it's for nothing. But I think that's something that we should have considered when voting. Now, nothing against Kyle. We served on the planning board together. He's a great guy. He's my neighbor, and I like him as a person. I just felt that in this case, for this seat, it should have went to someone that got those votes. That's my 2 cents. That doesn't matter after the discussion phases after the vote, but yeah.
Commissioner Roa. Commissioner Davis?
No, I totally hear what Commissioner Roa is saying. Respect to all the candidates, all those that won, all those that wanted to. I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to work with somebody that I know would be a great representation for the town, has continued to do the work as Commissioner Roa said, has already worked on the planning board, does great things within the community. So I'm just looking forward to that. Respect Commissioner Trent. Worked very well with him. I really enjoyed your time here on the board and saw the work between DeVaris and Jesse. But thank you so much.
Commissioner Baxter?
Well, this is after the vote, but I do appreciate the time that former Commissioner Schmidt put in, and I appreciate his insight and his approach to governance. I believe that he would be an absolute stellar addition to our board. But I look forward to working with Mr. Adams.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Miles?
Once again, I second, kind of like, I look forward to, first of all, Commissioner Spit, thank you for all your hard work. Definitely like that, each one of them said, stellar. Thank you for working with us. Jess and DeVaris, I saw your campaign, excellent work too as well. Now I look forward to moving forward to the next chapter. As I see that Commissioner Roa and now soon to be Commissioner Adams have worked together in the planning board. They both have those 2 years experience. That collaboration, I feel, can bring together. They all have that working relationship. They currently have a working relationship with staff too as well. So they're going to take that, I believe, where we have already kind of entrusted you guys with that knowledge and gain information to give to the board, that now we can bring that onto the board and we move forward for the greater good of the people of Zebulon. So I look forward to that. You guys both have given 2 years of your life commitment already on the planning board. So that's already an asset to the greater good of the people. So we look forward to taking those 2 years, expanding upon that, and we're moving forward for the greater good. And I look forward to all of us working together and create a town that everybody is happy to call home. Thank you again.
It's, I say these comments not as an attack to the board or an insult or a challenge, it's just, I was elected, and it's just how, this is just what I want to say out loud so that people understand my mindset of how I think and how I process these boards and these votes. So it isn't anything against the board, this is my opinion and I want it to be on the record, that's all.
I want you to know, first, I can speak for me. I can't speak for the board. We don't take that away. Like I said, this is just part of that process. We look forward to working with you. We welcome you aboard. Let's go to work for the greater good of the people. We look forward to it, sir.
Get to talk during discussion. I don't know how that works now.
Sorry, Mayor.
I know. What happened? So I would also like to thank former Commissioner Schmidt for your hard work and dedication to this board while you were here. Only for a few months. We really enjoyed the one video we got of Emmett in the group chat and the countless questions that you asked. Thank you for ensuring that our minds were turning and that we were looking at things from different views. So we appreciate your time spent on the board. And now I am not sure how we move forward with the board vacancy now that we have an appointment. So I will refer to our clerk and attorney.
As far as I know, they wrote.
Sworn in.
As I know, they wrote. Yeah, they satisfied. Swearing in. Yep. Yeah.
Can we swear him in now?
Yes, ma'am.
You can.
I would actually like to call Mr. Adams to the podium and ask if he would like to say, you're right. Do you even want to do this?
Take your time.
Nuh-uh.
I'm recovering from the disc surgery, but I do want to thank the mayor, the commissioners, everyone for trusting me. I appreciate it. Sometimes you feel like you don't deserve something, but I'm grateful for the opportunity. For you to come back there, I appreciate you guys. But I'm for the people, right? It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the people, and that's why I'm here for the people. You can bet one thing on me. I'm firm, very consistent. I'm the same person every time you see me. I want to treat everybody with respect and honor. But it's not about me. I'm a servant to the community. Thank you so much.
Mr. Adams. Commissioner Adams.
Got to do the swearing in. Swearing in.
Are we going to do the swearing in now? All right. We're going to take a 5-minute recess while we decide how to move forward. 5-minute recess.
The mics are hot. The mics are
Yeah.
However, I mean, like, just.
Getting used to new boards and how to do things. Yeah. It's a little different. And all the time they got going. My wife just told her she can't cancel school. Thank you for being here.
Was that okay to do 5 hours?
Yes, it was. Right now. That's your call. Yeah, super power. Right from the lot. You know what I'm saying? That's what
we are calling this meeting back to order. And now we will be doing the swearing in for our commissioner-elects, appoints, commissioner appoint. D? Okay, thank you.
Try to do it right here in the middle so we can make sure we get on the camera. Awesome.
Hold the Bible.
If you could, hang on the Bible and raise your right hand.
Yeah.
Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and the laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as Commissioner for the town of Zebulon, so help me God.
Come take your seats. Let's sit down. Yes, sir. It's Buckeyes.
Welcome, Commissioner Adams. All right, thank you all so much. And now we will move on to our manager's report. Our manager is with us online. Jeremy, if you could unmute him. Manager Jayoba?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioner. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry that I'm late to be there in person because of the weather conditions this evening, but I've been listening and watching. So thank you very much for allowing me to provide this report virtually. So there are three aspects to our report tonight. One is going to be done by our police chief, and okay, remember, about 2 months ago, we wanted to share with you that was in October, public safety of crime data to show where we are, and then year to date over the previous year, how we are tracking. But we decided to wait until the pocket has been in the office for a few weeks so that we can make that presentation directly to you. As you know, that public safety is one of those measures of quality of life in any community, more so ours. And so I'm going to ask the project to step to the podium and present those data points to you, and you can ask me questions. After that, we will talk about the financial update as well, and then an update on the housing social focus.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. Congratulations to all of you, even the newly fresh Commissioner. I don't know who made that agenda, but I had to follow you, so, but congratulations. What we're going to talk about today is the crime stats for the town of Zebulon. As you can see, Part 1 crime, which is aggravated assaults, residential burglary, are the main contributors for this. We had a slight increase of 1%. In Part 2 crime, we had a slight increase of 5%. Simple assaults fall into that. And mainly the increase for both Part 1 and Part 2 crimes were due to the assaults. And some of those assaults were domestic assaults. So obviously we can't do a lot of proactive policing for domestic assaults. What we can do is concentrate and focus on education, which is what we plan to do in the future. Next, when we talk about the proactive policing methods, We realize they are important, and I don't mean just enforcement, I mean just being out there, being seen, and talking to our community. But as you can see, we had 986 fewer traffic stops over the year, almost 1,800 fewer security checks, 607 fewer foot patrols. Well, obviously you want to ask the question why, and that's what I'm here to do, is answer those questions. So 73% of all shifts in 2025 operated at or below minimum staffing, and that's produced a significant reduction in our proactive police activity. When we look at proactive policing, we also had approximately an 11.5% population increase, even with that, we still only had a slight increase in crime. We're averaging about 1,000 to 1,500 new residents a year. So as our population grows, obviously our staffing is going to be affected, but we're doing everything we can to try to provide a safe community for the residents of Zebulon. So population increased by an estimated 11.5% from 24 to 25, but our call volume went up approximately 4%. Even with the population increase and the staffing issues and the higher call volume, we still remain relatively stable in our crime rate. Investigations has been assisting patrol with responsibilities and staffing. Investigators have been called out to major crimes after hours for a total of 73.5 hours and have worked 256 hours of patrol and administrative coverage. The patrol division will have 7 new officers. The 7th officer will begin or start on January the 5th. That's 29% of our workforce. And hopefully by mid-January, conservative figure, maybe 1st of February, those new officers will be out of training. And I am happy to say that we have 2 outstanding cadets in the BLET program right now. I'm going to brag on them a little bit. Every instructor that has taught that class has contacted me and said, hey, they're the top of the class. They are new officers, but they are not new to life. They have life experience, and that's going to help us greatly. And then we have 4 lateral transfers with several years of experience, and that is going to help us as far as the way we police as well. And then finally, our care unit. I can't brag about our care unit and the implementation of that unit enough. We had 195 referrals so far in 2025, reaching 273 children. 17% of those referrals were repeat call to a home, 50% were mental health related, and families accepting services has increased to 36%, or increased 36%. Obviously, they're making a big difference in reducing the cycles of violence. We have started to build a rapport with the community, and that's evident in the increased calls for services. So, any questions? Time, and again, congratulations.
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
I didn't
Yep.
realize that you were completely done with your
Yes, ma'am.
presentation. I do have some questions.
Yes.
Do you happen to know, and if you don't have this information right now, that's fine. If you could just get it to us at some point, that would be helpful. The total number of highway calls that we had last year, and then what percentage of our total calls were highway calls? And I ask that question because while we receive limited funding through the governor's program, that's temporary funding, and yet we continue to respond to calls on the highway, sometimes outside of the town, which pulls officers and resources away from our community. So I'd just like to have an understanding of what that is so that maybe we can, I don't know, send somebody to go lobby on our behalf to get some funds to assist us with those highway calls.
I can find out and determine that, and I'm assuming you're talking about wrecks, or you're talking about traffic accidents and everything, traffic stops and everything encompassed in that, or just
Everything, I don't, it's my understanding that we have fewer highway stops than we do responding to wrecks, accidents of some
Right.
of some sort. And if I could just have an understanding of what that might be, That would be helpful.
I can get that information to you. We do have a Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Right.
And obviously, when you receive funding for that program, those officers have to respond to traffic and be strictly for traffic, correct? But I can get the traffic stops and wrecks, and then what we do is we send those officers to other jurisdictions to provide regional enforcement on the traffic. But it's not just those officers that go, it's officers within the department as well. But I can get that information to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was my question.
Thank you. Commissioner Miles? Mayor Pro Tem Miles?
No, I just wanted to kind of reiterate what you talked about, the care unit. I've heard a lot of buzz and good things about the care unit. I just want to really let you know that
Thank you.
the citizens are excited about that.
Thank you. I am truly excited about the mental wellness and being of the programs that are in this agency. Yes.
You have a great selection that you made. She's really out there doing her thing.
She
Just
is.
want you to-
Yeah, she's
just want you to
awesome.
know that.
She is awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Roa?
Are there any grants that your department are currently pursuing, pending, or?
Well, as far as the Governor's Highway Safety Grant, when that expires, I'm not going to say we may put back in for that, but still getting my feet firmly planted on the ground. And depending upon other requests, it may be difficult to get that again. There are other grants that we're looking at.
Okay.
Governor's Crime Commission grants open in January, so there are some grants that I'm going to be looking at there. And there are also grants for bulletproof vests and things of that nature that we are currently getting now.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
Sounds great. All right. Thank you, Chief Puckett. We're all good. Thank you so much. In our monthly financial report,
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, Mayor, Commissioners, so this is what we typically do every month in terms of summarizing the status of our council revenues and expenditures for the benefit of the public and the commissioners. We do have these also as a dashboard on our website where you can actually see how our revenues and expenditures are up to date. What we have them, and if there's any particular question, they can be directed to our finance director or the fixed. But we have dropped it 5 months into our 2026 expenditures, and we've spent approximately 42% of our general fund budget of $4 million. That's typically, and that has to really, what I would say is that our property tax rate continues, property tax continues to be the largest revenue stream, followed by sales tax, and then to sales tax. At the staff level, we're already beginning to meet and discuss what fiscal year 26-27 may look like, and we're going to be beginning here with the coming in of the manager. There will be to all and start to kind of input some of that information together for you. I don't know if you have any specific questions with regards to this particular financial report for this month. Stephanie, for me, to answer your question.
thank you. Any questions from the board?
Not this month.
Thank you. Housing survey update?
Yes, so this is really not talking about the housing study itself, but a couple months ago, you remember you approved the selection of a consultant firm to do a housing study. Not affordable housing, but comprehensive study of housing study in terms of the challenges to housing, opportunities to provide housing. The consultant came on the ground in the wall, and this is really an effort to get insight from our feedback from the residents in terms of what they would like to see, what their aspirations are, and vision with regards to the different types of housing that we can have as a community. We talked about what we said earlier, and one of the things that the said, the way that we go building new housing is important. Also, is making sure that we continue to conserve the existing housing stock. What some other people would call naturally would call affordable housing is more. And if we do all of that, even conserving the existing, we definitely want to get that from our residents. So we have a survey that's out there. The deadline is actually December 15th. we are willing to push down the responses are not but everyone. But communications director will speak to a video that's on our website and also on our social media platform, where there's a QR code where the residents and the self commissioners can actually go complete the survey, so to speak, for all on December 15th. We want to get as many people as possible so that now we come to present a draft to you in the year captures what a lot of our residents are thinking about. We're having new residents, but we also want to make sure that our existing residents understand that their thoughts are being carried forward. If you recall, in the current budget, we provide some funding for what we call road infrastructure to help to upgrade some of the infrastructure associated with some of our older housing stock. We're going to be having different conversations around that this month, actually, this as to how we can discuss finance project here. We wanted to make sure that we have everything in place prior to the next project cycle. However, putting a plug in here for these houses, survey, and our residents should go out on our website, go on our social media platform, click on that QR code, and that's where we will express their thoughts because their feedback, so we can have a survey that reflects the aspirations and expectations of you are the.
Thank you, Manager Jayoba. So to sum up a lot of what he just said, there's a QR code, take the survey, take the housing survey so that we can hear from our community on what our community needs as far as housing supply and what we're looking for and all the wonderful things that we need to move our town forward in a strategic and smart direction. Did I sum that up pretty good? All right, thank you so much. Any comments or discussion from the board? Good? All right, thank you so much for the manager's report. Is there anything else that you need to share with us?
No, outside of people staying safe and congratulations to Commissioner Adams. I will be spending some time with you and Commissioner Roa for some time in the week to kind of talk with you about what's next in terms of
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Ty. All right, and now we're going to move on to board comments. I will start with Commissioner Adams.
Right now, and I'm honestly, I'm humbly grateful. I'm sorry. I'm humbly grateful. Honestly, I am. I am. So thank you all that you trust me. I might not be somebody's vote, but I'm your vote. And I thank you guys. So thank you again. No more comments for me. I'm nervous.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Commissioner Roa?
Yeah, it's incredible to be up here helping you guys deliberate and, helping the town move forward. Congratulations, Commissioner Adams.
Thank
we
you, sir.
keep working together.
Absolutely.
This is a nice transition. I didn't say thank you, Trent. Thank you for the time you put in. And congratulations, Madam Mayor, on your victory, Quentin, for being Mayor Pro Tem and winning another election. And I hope to be just an addition that can communicate and deliberate and, make sure we're moving that ball forward. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis?
I wasn't even up for election, and I'm excited. This has been such a journey. So, as I stated on Saturday, I am beyond proud of the four of you, two to my left and two to my right. I heard somebody say in the audience that this was a hard-fought election, and it was done with class, and I'm very proud. I am excited to continue to do the good work. I always have a saying, defy the odds that are stacked against you. And I think with this board fully stacked with greatness, with passion, and ready to serve this community, we are going to defy the odds that stacked against us. So I am proud of you. I am determined to work with each of you. This is not about any of us. We all decided to be in these seats to be servants to our community, and we will continue to do that. So thank you. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Commissioner Baxter.
So this just in, hot off the press, all Wake County Public Schools will be closed tomorrow. So if you have children out there,
Sorry.
you might need to make work arrangements. And so make sure that your kids have warm sneakers and that you put those little plastic bread bags around their shoes so that they can go outside and play in the slush tomorrow. It looks like we are going to have not one, but 2 planning board vacancies. And so if you are willing to step up and serve our community on the planning board, please look for the applications in the near future. We have our Christmas parade coming up this Sunday. And we hope to see everyone out along the parade route, enjoying what all of our departments have worked so hard in conjunction with Shop Local Raleigh to put forth. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone out there on Sunday. We also have many other wonderful events going on throughout the month of December, whether it is Christmas senior socials or pictures with Santa. Please check our website for those fabulous offerings. It's kind of, just more of the sweet little things that we do to make sure that our community stays close-knit. And it's, as someone that always goes and has her picture taken with Santa every single year, no matter what that Santa is dressed like, who that Santa might be, it's a good time for all. So please go ahead and take the housing survey. It is very, very important for us to get a good idea of what our community's needs are. And like Mayor Jayoba stated, that survey is going to be open until the 15th. And no matter what you're celebrating this season, happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa to all.
Mic drop. Thank you, Commissioner Baxter. Mayor Pro Tem?
Start off with giving to my left, Commissioner Roa, Commissioner Adams, Mayor Harrison. I look forward to working with you guys. It's an honor to sit before you now and sit with you and ready to kind of go to work for the people. As you stated, Commissioner Adams served the people. I've heard you say that as well. Commissioner Roa and Mayor Harrison, I've worked with you thus far, and I know that's what you're about to as well. So I look forward to being an asset to that. Looking forward to, as Commissioner Davis put it in her words, defying the odds. We work together for the greater good of the people. I will continue to say that. Commissioner Baxter, thank you as well. Commissioner Smith, an honor. Let's go to work, continue to work, and do the greater good for the people. As always, unity through community.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Miles. I'm going to get it. It's going to come off the tongue after a while. I want to just take a moment to, again, send a special thank you to this board. We have work to do, and I'm so excited that we are going to do the work for our community, and that everyone that's sitting here is committed to doing the work for the community. Thank you for having my back the way that you have. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being honest and open, because you didn't have to be. Because all the things that have been thrown, you did not have to be, and you did. And I want to tell you thank you publicly for having my back. I would also like to take this time to thank our incredible staff for an amazing candy cane lane. OMG. So amazing. We had people, community members from all over Wake County, Nash County, Johnston and Franklin County that came to Zebulon. It seems like every year we have more and more people, and this year it seemed like we were more shoulder to shoulder. So we may have to open some more roads up next year, Sheila. I'm sorry, don't look
I
at
heard
me
there was
like
like
that.
8,000 people.
Was there like 8,000 people? Wow, that's amazing. So, and thank you to our community for supporting Zebulon in such a big way. We appreciate you all. And on that note, I also want to take a moment to thank Dora, Jeremy, and Sheila for putting together an incredible swearing-in ceremony for us. The community showed up. The community got what they asked for in celebrating those of us that were elected into office. There were so many historical moments. Congratulations on making history. That's a big thing, and never let anybody take that away from you, because you made history, and that's incredible. We made history.
You made history.
We made history, and I'm so honored that we were able to take the time to truly celebrate within our community. There was not enough seats in the council chambers to accommodate everyone, and I'm so glad that our forward-thinking vision allowed us to put together something that the community could be proud of that was at minimal economic effects to our town. So thank you so much for doing that. And lastly, don't forget our parade on Sunday at 3 o'clock. We are very excited to welcome Santa back to Zebulon one more time. Well, I guess on Christmas too, so 2 more times. And so we hope that we will see you all there. And now, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Will there be a discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Meeting adjourned.